Some obsolete laws are also such that if they are seen in today's context, they look very interesting and strange, but they present a memorable picture of the bygone era to us. Some of the similar laws enacted by various American states and city governments in the past are in the statute books. So today's video will talk about some of the unique and interesting laws of the United States. So let's start the video. Number 9. Written permission required to buy alcohol. Pennsylvania has a strange law that says no man can go to buy alcohol without written permission from his wife. This law is a reminder of a time when household structures were more traditional and patriarchal, and wives had significant control over the family finances. Imagine a husband standing at the liquor store, searching his pocket for a permission note from his wife, hoping she has issued him the liquor license. Surely this law must have sparked many debates in homes across the state. Picture a husband like a child asking his wife for permission, saying, "Dear wife, may I get a six-pack?" And after a dramatic pause, the wife writing out the permission slip. One wonders what would happen if the husband violated this law. Would he be thrown out the door, or would he try to sneak off to a nearby store in secret? Number 8. Catching rats without a license. In California and Ohio, it's against the law to catch a rat without first obtaining a license. While this may sound absurd, it likely exists to ensure that proper methods and traps are used, protecting both the environment and the public from unsafe practices. Imagine a homeowner discovering a rat scurrying across their kitchen floor, only to find out they need a permit before they can take action. This could lead to all sorts of humorous scenarios, like a homeowner frantically Googling how to get a rat-catching license while the rat is making itself at home, raiding the pantry. By the time they get the paperwork sorted, that rat could have thrown a house party and invited all its friends. You can picture a scene where the homeowner stands helplessly watching as the rats dance in celebration, thinking, "I just wanted to be a responsible adult." Number 7. No catching dogs without notice. In Denver, Colorado, there's a law that prohibits individuals from catching dogs without prior notice. Those looking to catch stray pups must first post a notice in public places for 3 days, informing the community of their intentions. This law likely arose from concerns about lost pets and the importance of transparency in animal control. Picture a dog catcher, ready to scoop up a stray but first having to plaster flyers around the neighborhood. Imagine how this might change the dynamics of a neighborhood. Instead of a stealthy dog rescue, you have an announcement on the community board. "Attention! I'll be catching dogs next week, so if you're missing one, please let me know." This law seems designed to encourage a sense of community, giving pet owners a chance to reclaim their lost furry friends before they end up in the dog catcher's hands. It could even lead to some unexpected reunions, with neighbors coming together, sharing stories, and perhaps forming a dog rescue club. Number 6. Ban on ghosts and spirits. In Urbana, Illinois, a law exists that bans ghosts, spirits, and other supernatural entities from entering the city limits. While this law may sound like something out of a Halloween movie, it reflects a quirky attempt to add a charm to the local governance. Imagine a ghost tour guide being stopped by police and asked to show proof that they've checked their ghostly companions at the city line. It raises the question of how one might enforce such a law. Do they have Ghostbusters on patrol? And what would happen if a ghost tried to sneak in? Would they be granted a visa? This law could lead to all sorts of humorous situations, especially during Halloween when the line between reality and the supernatural blurs. Ghosts roaming the streets might have to come up with creative ways to hide their presence, leading to a whole new industry in disguise services for the afterlife. Number 5. No lending vacuum cleaners to neighbors. In Denver, Colorado, a strange law forbids residents from lending their vacuum cleaners to neighbors. This unusual rule might stem from a desire to prevent disputes over borrowed items, particularly when those items can lead to misunderstandings about their condition upon return. Picture a neighbor knocking on your door, asking to borrow your vacuum, only to find out it's illegal. It's not just a matter of personal preference anymore. It's a legal issue. You can just imagine the conversation going, "Sure, you can borrow my vacuum. Oh, wait, let me get a legal disclaimer ready first." This law definitely adds an interesting twist to neighborly relations, perhaps making some think twice before they help a friend in need. Next thing you know, there's a neighborhood meeting discussing the implications of vacuum sharing. Who knew cleaning appliances could spark such a debate? Number 4, snoring as a police offense. In Massachusetts, if you're a loud snorer, you might want to think twice about leaving your windows and doors open at night. Under this bizarre law, snoring with the windows and doors open can lead to police intervention. This law likely originated from a time when communities were tighter knit and noise pollution was a concern. Just picture it, you're deep in dreamland, and suddenly a knock on your door wakes you up because your snores have alarmed the neighbors. Sir, we've received complaints about your excessive snoring. Could you please close your windows? It's hard to believe anyone would actually face legal consequences for a natural bodily function. Imagine the anxiety of inviting friends over for a sleepover. Hey, just a heads up. I snore like a freight train, so maybe bring earplugs or I might get a visit from the cops. Number 3, garlic consumption restrictions. In Gary, Indiana, it's illegal to enter a public space like a cinema or public transport within 4 hours of eating garlic. While garlic is lauded for its health benefits today, this law reflects the historical concerns over strong odors in communal areas. Imagine enjoying a delicious garlic-infused meal only to be turned away at the movie theater. Sorry, sir, but we can't have you stinking up the place with garlic breath. This law could have led to some awkward conversations among friends about meal choices before a night out. It's amusing to think about a group of garlic lovers having to coordinate their meals based on the local cinema schedule. Okay, I can't eat garlic for dinner if we're going to the movie later, but what if we just have garlic bread? Is that acceptable? Number 2, eating ice cream with a fork. In Bucknell, Indiana, a quirky law states that eating ice cream with a fork at the airport is illegal. This bizarre regulation possibly arose from concerns about hygiene and etiquette. Picture someone trying to eat their ice cream as they rush through the airport, only to be stopped by security for their utensil choice. Excuse me, ma'am, but you can't eat ice cream with a fork. It's against the law. Additionally, in Delaware, it's prohibited to bring ice cream onto a plane in your pocket. The absurdity of such laws adds to the charm of American quirks, making one wonder just how these rules came to be in the first place. Can you imagine the scene at the airport security checkpoint as people hastily stuff ice cream into their pockets, hoping for the best? Just trying to enjoy my dessert on the go, officer. Number 1, tying a giraffe to a pole. In Atlanta, Georgia, it is illegal to tie a giraffe to a telephone or electric pole. This curious law likely stems from a time when owning exotic pets was more common and serves to protect both the animals and public infrastructure. Can you imagine the chaos of a giraffe tied to a street pole? Perhaps this law was enacted after an incident where a giraffe caused a traffic jam or knocked over power lines. It's one of those laws that leaves you scratching your head while simultaneously marveling at the wild side of animal ownership. Picture a local zoo director hosting a workshop on how to properly care for a giraffe, and suddenly the attendees are discussing where they can and can't tie their pets. It makes one wonder what other bizarre laws are out there just waiting to be discovered.